What's up, y'all? My name is Jantis Fai, and I'm not gonna do too much yapping like these other creators before I cut straight into the value, but I have two things to ask of you. Number one, take in the value, apply it to your brand so you can scale, and number two, subscribe. Let's cut straight to the chase. So right here, we have 18-year-old Andres. Andres is an 18-year-old entrepreneur who teaches sales. He claims 300K to 500K a month and has a sales community called Impact with 60,000 plus members. You might have seen Andres all over your Instagram reels. He's an aggressive 18-year-old sales coach. One thing I definitely noticed about him is his sales skills are there. Obviously the audience is growing steadily, but right now his page is built like a 6-figure brand, and if he wants to scale to a 7-figure brand, it's not gonna work because he's missing these three insanely important things. The first super important thing I noticed about his page is his bio is absolutely trash. So right here, as we can see, he has a 4 line bio. This is completely pointless. He doesn't need this. He definitely does not need this. He definitely does not need this or even this right here. What he needs is a perfect 3-line bio that leverages the two things that are most important that's holding him up to the standard he is right now: his age and his income. So right here, I'm gonna break down a 3-line bio that's taken from a 6-figure brand to a 7-figure brand. Inside the first line of his bio, I would say 18-year-old closing 400K a month in sales, right in the middle of 300K to 500K. And like I said, line 1 hits two of the most powerful factors of his entire brand inside one sentence. The things he's leveraging to hold himself to such a high, virality rate is definitely his age and his income. And I use his age as 18-year-old, and I use his income 400K a month in sales to build a perfect first line. These are the exact two reasons he goes viral every single time. So why isn't that the first thing on his page? Think about it. The second someone reads this, they're already hooked. The second line inside his 3-line bio is going to be helped 60,000 plus Impact members learn to sell. And line 2 really does do something smart. It uses the word Impact members. Nobody knows what that is yet, especially if they're a first timer on his page, and that curiosity makes them keep reading. But it also stacks social proof. 60,000 people, now they're thinking, what is this Impact thing and how do I get in? Because if 60,000 people could do it, I could do it as well, right? And that's why I think the second line is the perfect second line for him. Now moving on to the third line, a really good one. His third line is going to be free sales education that generated me whatever his actual number is inside X amount of days. And line 3 basically closes it all, and this is the line where he's going to be making the most amount of money from. He puts a real number here, could be generating me $14 million in 6 months, obviously whatever his actual number is. And now they're doing the math inside their head. He's giving this away for absolutely free, and it generated him that. And then they look down and they see it linked impactteam.us, and they click it because they want to be the next person inside that 60,000. Boom, the second of the three I definitely noticed that's up his page is definitely his highlights. Bro has no highlights at all. And I know some people think that looks clean or different, but having no highlights on a brand like Andres's just makes him look stupid, and it isn't a flex. Every person that lands on his page and isn't already a fan needs somewhere to go build trust, and usually highlights are that place. So him not having highlights is definitely hurting him. Think about how much money he's missing out on by just not having highlights. Without them, you're just hoping people convert off vibes alone. And one thing I know for sure is that you cannot build a 7-figure brand thinking that people are going to convert off vibes alone. So here's exactly what his highlights need to look like. 3 formats, each one has a specific job. Boom, number 1 is going to be the results highlight. Inside the results highlight, he needs to have 2 to 3 dedicated results highlights with his best case studies. You walk through where that person started, what changed, and what exactly they're earning now. And lastly, a video of their testimonial. Results build a great level of credibility and that extra layer of trust on your page. The second highlight I would have for him is definitely the life highlight. One life highlight showing the cars, the penthouse, the traveling, the life he just really has at such a young age is just some proof that the money he talks is real. Aspiration sells, and his ICP wants to see that somebody their age is actually living the life that he's talking about. And last but not least, the third highlight is going to be the behind the scenes highlight, and this is super underrated. The behind the scenes highlight of the actual work, the calls, the process, the day-to-day. When people see what it looks like behind the curtain, they stop seeing you as a content creator and start seeing you as someone worth learning from and someone no different from them. And last but not least, the third insanely important thing he's missing is his brand messaging. If you go to Andres's page right now, his brand messaging is basically invisible, and most of the time whenever people view your page, they glare at it for maybe 5 seconds. 95% of his content is sales, but the page does not really show it other than his content. No corrals of him on calls, no pinned intro reel, no grid that visually communicates what exactly he does. Someone landing cold has no idea what this guy sells or who he helps. So here is how I would fix his brand messaging in 2 simple but crucial steps. Number 1, pin intro reel. I would put a pin reel inside the first slot of his page that introduces exactly who he is and what he does inside the first 10 seconds of the video. This pin reel is one of the first things cold traffic sees, so what you say is super important inside this video. That's why the first 10 seconds are so crucial. And second, last but not least, is definitely his carousel posts. If he was under my mentorship, I would make him post lifestyle slideshow posts that point towards sales but are also flashy, if you get what I'm trying to say. An example of that is photos of him on calls, him teaching or breaking down something, etc. Carousels save and circulate. They build authority so much long term. And that is exactly how I'll take Andres from a 6-figure brand to a 7-figure brand quickly. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to be dropping crazy value on this page. You're missing out if you don't subscribe and stay.